There comes a moment when you look at your life and quietly ask, how did I get here? You're still breathing, still showing up, but something inside you is missing. You've smiled for others, pushed through, numbed the ache. But now, you're ready to find yourself again. Not the version people expect, not the one shaped by shame, fear, or survival, but the one God handcrafted, tender, whole, and still alive underneath it all. This prayer is your way back. Take a deep breath and let every word lead you home. God, I don't even know how to say this, but I don't recognize who I've become. I look at my reflection, and there's a tired version of me staring back, not just physically, but in my soul. There used to be more light in my eyes, more laughter, more softness, but now it's like I've had to harden just to keep going. I became who others needed me to be. I survived things I never talk about. I smiled when I was breaking, and little by little, the person you created me to be faded into the background. I'm not blaming anyone, but I'm also not okay pretending this doesn't hurt, because it does. It hurts to forget how to dream. It hurts to perform instead of live. It hurts to feel like I don't even know what makes me, me. So I'm here, not with answers, not with a plan, just with the truth. I want to come back home to myself, to the version you first spoke into being, to the soul you've always seen, even when I couldn't. If you've ever looked at yourself and quietly thought, where did I go? Then maybe this prayer is your way back too. Lord, I've been trying to trace it back. That moment when I stopped feeling like myself. And I think I remember. It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. It was subtle, quiet, like a slow drift away from shore. Maybe it was the day I stopped saying what I really felt because I didn't want to be a burden. Maybe it was when I pushed my dreams aside to make everyone else comfortable. Or maybe it was when I was hurt, and instead of healing, I buried it and just kept going. I didn't even realize I was fading. I just kept saying, I'm fine, I'll figure it out. But deep down, I wasn't fine, and I didn't know how to ask for help without sounding weak or broken. I wish I could go back and hold that version of me, the one who was starting to disappear. I'd tell them, you don't have to vanish to be loved. You don't have to disappear to be accepted. But I can't go back. So instead, I come to you now, asking you to meet me here, in the place where I first stopped feeling like myself. If you've ever drifted so quietly, you didn't even notice, this might be your moment to come back to the surface. God, I don't remember the last time I really felt present, like I was actually here, not just going through the motions. I wake up, I get through the day, I smile, I check the boxes, I do what I'm supposed to do. But it's like I'm watching my life from outside myself, numb, distant, disconnected. And when I lay down at night and it's quiet, too quiet, that's when the ache creeps in. That deep knowing that I wasn't really here for any of it. I existed, but I didn't live. I used to notice beauty. I used to feel things deeply. Now I just move from one task to the next like I'm surviving instead of living. Maybe I did that to protect myself. Maybe it was safer to go numb than to keep hoping and hurting. But I'm tired of being numb. I want to feel again, even if it hurts, because at least pain means I'm alive. At least it means something still matters. So God, wake me up, gently, patiently, but fully. Let me return to myself. Let me be here again, heart, soul, and all. If life has felt like a blur lately, you're not the only one praying to feel alive again. Lord, somewhere along the way I became a master at pretending, smiling when I was breaking, agreeing when I wanted to scream, showing up like everything was fine, when inside I was crumbling. I didn't mean to fake it. I just thought I had to be accepted, to avoid judgment, to keep things from falling apart. So I became who they needed me to be, strong, stable, put together. But the truth is, that version of me was just a mask, and I wore it so long, I almost believed it myself. But you've always seen through it, haven't you? You've looked past the polished answers, past the polite, "I'm fine." You've seen the tears behind the confidence, the fear behind the control. And you haven't turned away, not once. So here I am now, taking off the mask, even if just for a moment, because I want to be known, really known, not for who I pretend to be, but for who I truly am. Let your love be the first thing that meets me when the mask comes off. If you've gotten used to pretending just to survive, maybe this is the moment you get to breathe without the performance. God, I used to know what I thought, what I felt, what I believed. But lately it's like I can't even hear myself anymore. Too many opinions, too many expectations, too much noise. I've listened to what others needed, what others wanted, what others expected, and somewhere in the middle of all that, I lost track of me. I stopped asking, what do I need? What do I want? What is God saying to me? And now, when I try to hear that still, small voice inside, it's quiet. Not because it's gone, but because I forgot how to listen. I want to hear again, Lord. Not just what people say, not just what the world demands, but what you are whispering to my soul and what my own heart is longing to respond with. I want to trust that my voice still matters, that it's not too late to speak, that it's not too late to rediscover the sound of a heart waking up. So silence the noise, God, and in the quiet, let me find what was never truly lost, just buried. If you've stopped hearing yourself think, feel, or dream, maybe now is your time to listen again. Lord, I look around at my life, and on the outside it should make sense. There are people who love me, things I've accomplished, moments that look beautiful. But inside, something feels off, like I'm living in a story that doesn't quite fit, like I'm watching someone else's life from the sidelines. I smile. I nod, I show up, but it's like I'm not in it. I don't know how I ended up here. I said yes to things that weren't mine. I walked paths that looked right but felt wrong. And now, even in the middle of what should be enough, I feel misplaced, misaligned, distant from myself. But you see it, don't you? You see that deep ache, the one that whispers, "This isn't who I really am." And you're not disappointed. You're not angry. You're just calling me gently back. Not to fix everything overnight, not to burn it all down, but to take one honest step at a time, back to the version of me you designed with intention. So I'm asking for courage, God, to question gently, to realign slowly, to return home, even if it takes time. If you've ever felt out of place in your own life, this might be your invitation to begin rewriting it. Lord, somewhere along the way I forgot that no is holy. I thought being kind meant being available to everyone. I thought loving others meant saying yes even when it hurt me. And so I gave and gave and gave until I was empty. I said yes to things that weren't mine to carry. Yes to silence when I should have spoken. Yes to pleasing others at the cost of losing myself. And now I realize I didn't just lose energy, I lost identity. Because every time I said yes out of fear or guilt, I said no to who you created me to be. But you never asked for that kind of sacrifice. You never demanded that I disappear to prove I'm good. You never equated self-neglect with holiness. So I'm learning, slowly, that boundaries are not walls. They are doors, doors that protect peace, doors that honor truth. Help me, Lord, to say no when I need to, without apology, without shame, not out of selfishness, but out of reverence for the soul you've entrusted to me. Because if I keep saying yes to everything, I'll keep saying no to the healing you're offering. If you felt guilty for choosing yourself, maybe this is your reminder that you're worth protecting too. God, I miss who I used to be. Not perfect, not fearless, but more alive. There was a time when I laughed more freely, when I spoke without filtering every word, when I trusted people and trusted you without so much hesitation. I was lighter then, softer, braver. I carried wonder in my eyes and hope in my hands. But life happened. And piece by piece, I started protecting myself. I built walls instead of boundaries. I traded wonder for caution. And slowly, the me I loved most disappeared. Now I find myself looking back, not out of regret, but with longing. Because I know that version of me still exists, buried under survival, hidden beneath all the times I had to be strong. So today, I'm asking you to help me remember, not just the past, but the essence, the laughter, the faith, the freedom, the soul you first formed in love. Let me reconnect with that light, Lord. Even if it flickers at first, even if I have to reintroduce myself, one brave breath at a time. If you've ever whispered, "I miss me," you're not alone. God still sees the version of you that's waiting to rise again. Lord, I've filled every corner of my life with something. Tasks, noise, notifications, people to care for, things to fix. 100 reasons to stay busy, but none of them truly nourishing. It's like I've been afraid of the quiet. Afraid that if I stop, even for a second, everything I've pushed down will rise up. So I keep going, keep doing, keep distracting. But the truth is, God, I'm not okay. I'm full, but not fulfilled. I'm surrounded, but not seen. I'm constantly in motion, but going nowhere deeper. I know you're calling me to slow down, to make room, to clear out the clutter. Not just in my schedule, but in my heart. Because how can I rediscover who I am if I never give myself time to breathe? So here I am, God, pausing, not running, not fixing, just being still enough for you to meet me in the silence. I want to hear what I've been too distracted to feel. I want to be present enough to recognize your voice again, and my own. If life has been too loud to hear your soul, maybe now is the moment to turn down the noise and make space. Lord, for so long I thought I had to earn my way back to peace, back to joy, back to you. I thought I had to fix everything first, be stronger, have the right words, be less messy. But now I'm starting to see, maybe healing doesn't wait for perfection. Maybe restoration starts the moment I give myself permission to begin again. I've spent so much time carrying shame for the things I didn't do, for the way I let myself slip away, for not noticing how far I had wandered. But you're not shaming me, are you? You're not standing at a distance with crossed arms. You're here, close, kind, ready to walk with me. Not from the finish line, but from exactly where I am. So today, I stop waiting to be ready. I stop waiting to be healed enough, wise enough, worthy enough. I say yes to the process, yes to the slow, holy return, yes to beginning again with grace, and that yes is enough. If you've been waiting for permission to start over, this is it. Let this be the moment you choose yourself again. Lord, it's not just others I've struggled to trust, it's me. I've made promises to myself I didn't keep, said I'd rest and didn't, said I'd speak up and stayed silent, said I'd walk away and went back again. And now, deep down, I don't always believe myself anymore. I question my own voice, I doubt my own choices, and I wonder if I can be trusted, even by me. But you see something I don't you? You see the effort, You see the ache. You see the heart that still shows up even after all the failed restarts. And you're not asking me to be flawless. You're inviting me to be faithful, to show up again, to try again, to rebuild, one gentle step at a time. So today, I start small. I choose one thing I can do to honor myself. One yes that aligns with who I am. One no that protects what I'm becoming. And with each step, I'll learn to trust me again, not because I'm perfect, but because I'm growing. If trusting yourself has felt hard lately, this might be your moment to believe in your own voice again. Lord, I've carried so much for so long, responsibilities, regrets, unspoken grief, unfinished healing. I've learned how to function under pressure, how to smile through the pain, how to be the strong one, even when I'm falling apart inside. But I'm tired, and not just physically. I'm tired in a way sleep can't fix. I've tried to hold it all together, for others, for appearances, even for you, like you needed me to prove something. But I'm done trying to earn what you freely give. I don't want to carry this alone anymore. I wasn't made to. So today, I let my guard down. I open my hands, I stop pretending I have to be the healer, and I finally let myself be held. I give you what's too heavy, the worry, the guilt, the pressure to be okay, and I choose to believe that being cared for doesn't make me weak, it makes me whole. Wrap me in your grace, Lord, not because I deserve it, but because I need it. If you've been carrying more than your soul was built for, this may be your moment to finally rest in stronger arms. Lord, I used to notice the little things, the way sunlight hits the window, the sound of laughter in another room, the warmth of a quiet moment. I used to feel wonder, not because life was easy, but because I was awake. But lately, everything feels flat, muted, like I've been walking through life in grayscale. And I miss color. I miss pausing long enough to be moved. I miss looking at the sky and remembering I'm small, but loved. I miss being surprised by joy, not just chasing it. I know the world hasn't lost its beauty. I just stopped looking. So I ask you, Lord, reawaken my eyes, not just physically, but spiritually. Help me see again, not what's loud or impressive, but what's gentle, sacred, and alive. Let me see you in the ordinary. Let me feel peace in the simple. Let me fall back in love with living, one small, beautiful moment at a time. Because maybe coming back to life starts by seeing the life that's been here all along. If your world has felt dull and distant, this may be your reminder to look again. Beauty hasn't left you. Lord, I remember when I used to be brave, when I spoke up even with a shaky voice, when I took steps not knowing how they'd end, but still moved forward. Now, I second-guess everything. I overthink. I hold back, and I tell myself it's wisdom, but maybe it's just fear in disguise. I've lost confidence, not just in decisions, but in myself. I've let past mistakes rewrite the way I see my future, and I've started to believe that playing small is safer. But you didn't call me to stay hidden. You didn't breathe life into me so I could live afraid of my own voice. You made me for boldness, not reckless but real, not loud but rooted. So I'm asking you, God, remind me that courage doesn't mean I'm not afraid. It means I choose to move forward anyway. Remind me that I still have something to offer. That fear may visit, but it doesn't get to lead. Let bravery rise again. Not all at once, but little by little, with each truth I speak, each step I take, each time I choose to believe I still carry light. If fear has quieted your voice, this may be the moment it starts rising again. God, I didn't walk away from you, but somewhere along the way my faith grew quiet. not gone, just quieter. Not because I stopped loving you, but because life started shouting louder than my prayers. There were things I asked for that didn't happen. Doors I begged you to open, that stayed shut. And in the silence that followed, I started building walls I didn't mean to build. I still talk to you, still whisper your name. But some days, it feels like I'm just hoping something will spark again. I miss that closeness, that fire, that feeling that you were so near I could breathe in your presence. And I know you haven't moved. I know you haven't changed, but I have. So here I am, asking, can we begin again? Not with fireworks, not with loud declarations, just with a soft yes from my tired heart to yours. Teach me to trust again, to pray with honesty, to believe without pressure. Because even if my faith feels small, you said that's all you need to move mountains. If your faith has grown quiet lately, maybe it's time to let the flame breathe again. Lord, I've spent so much time fighting myself, criticizing what I see in the mirror, judging my own thoughts, demanding more while offering less grace. I've spoken words to myself I would never say to someone I love, and somehow I believed that being harsh would make me better, stronger, worthy, but it didn't. It just made me exhausted, ashamed, disconnected from the very body and soul you created with care. You didn't form me to be flawless. You formed me to be whole. And wholeness begins with gentleness, with seeing myself the way you do, not through the lens of comparison, but through compassion. So I want to come back to that, to treat my body not as a burden, but as a vessel of grace, to treat my mind not as an enemy, but as a garden that needs tending, to stop punishing myself for not being perfect, and start honoring the fact that I'm healing. Help me choose kindness, especially when no one's watching. If you've been your own harshest critic, this may be your invitation to speak love where shame once lived. Lord, I didn't even realize how tightly I had closed my heart, until I tried to dream and nothing came, until I tried to love and felt nothing but fear. I've been protecting myself from disappointment, from loss, from hope that never bloomed. But in protecting myself from pain, I also closed the door to joy, to connection, to wonder, to new beginnings. I want to live open again, even if it's risky, even if it hurts sometimes, because numbness is no longer enough. I want to feel again, not just the safe things, but all of it. So I open my hands, I open the windows of my soul, and I ask you to gently stretch my heart back toward light, back toward possibility, back toward the life I haven't lived yet. Let me trust that there's more ahead, not perfect, not pain-free, but good and real and worth it. I don't want to miss what you're still writing because I was too afraid to turn the page. If hope has felt too risky, this might be your moment to say yes to something new. Lord, there's a lie I've believed for far too long, that I have to earn love, that I have to be more healed, more productive, more put together before I can be fully embraced. But I'm tired of chasing worth. I'm tired of measuring myself by what I've done right or wrong, because deep down, something in me still wants to be seen, loved, held, not for who I'm trying to become, but for who I am, right here, right now. You've never required perfection. You don't wait for me to get it all together. You love me in the middle, in the questions, in the mess, in the I'm trying. So help me believe it. Help me receive it, that I'm not too much. I'm not too broken. I'm not too late. I'm not unworthy because I'm still healing. I am still lovable, even here, even now. Let your love quiet every voice that says otherwise, and let me finally rest in the truth that I don't have to become enough. I already am. If you've been waiting to be better before feeling loved, this is your permission to receive love exactly as you are. God, I've looked in the mirror so many times and only seen what's missing, what's wrong, what's not enough. I've spoken harsh things over myself. I've let comparison rewrite my worth. I've allowed shame to shape the way I see the soul you handcrafted in love, but I'm ready for a new lens, not the one formed by my past, not the one fogged by failure, but the one shaped by truth, your truth. You've always seen more in me. Even when I saw failure, you saw future. When I saw weakness, you saw wonder. You never based my value on performance. You never flinched at my wounds. You looked straight into the broken parts and called them beautiful. So teach me, Lord, to see what you see, to speak to myself with the tone you use, to honor what you created, not hide it, not shrink it, because I've spent too long agreeing with lies, and I'm ready to live in truth. If you've struggled to see yourself with kindness, maybe it's time to borrow God's eyes for a while. Lord, I didn't know this prayer would take me so far, back through the pieces I lost, back through the silence I buried, back through the parts of me I tried to forget. But here I am, after the unraveling, after the weariness, after the ache, still standing, still breathing, still yours. And something feels different now, not perfect, but peaceful. Like I've stopped running, like I've opened the door to my own soul and whispered, I'm back. Not the old version of me, not the one who tried to be everything for everyone, but the real me, softer, slower, more rooted in grace. And you, Lord, you never left. You walked every step of this quiet return. You didn't rush me. You didn't shame me. You just kept whispering, come home. So now I do. I come home to my voice, to my heart, to my breath, to your presence that never gave up on me, even when I gave up on myself. This isn't the end, it's the beginning. If this journey felt like your own, maybe it's time to come home too. God's been waiting for you. Thank you for walking through this prayer with us. If you've made it here, it means something inside you was brave enough to stay, to feel, to hope again. And that alone is a miracle. Maybe this wasn't just a video. Maybe it was a return to your voice, your soul, your God. You don't have to rush now. You don't have to have it all figured out. Just keep coming home, one honest moment at a time. And if this prayer held your heart in any way, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who might be quietly searching too. Leave a comment if something spoke to you, and subscribe to stay close, because your soul deserves this kind of space. You are not alone, not now, not ever, and your story is still unfolding beautifully. God bless you.